This is how we stitch an invisible zipper with bound edges in a French seam. This pattern has a 1/2 inch seam allowance along the side seam and the waistline, and the zipper open is 7 inches long. Interfacing has been added along the opening to stabilize the fabric for durability. This is optional and dependent on the weight and the weave of your fabric. I'll be using a zipper that is at least 2 inches longer than the zipper opening. If you have a zipper that is the exact length needed for this technique, you'll be able to skip some of the steps in this tutorial. However, I will be demonstrating with a zipper that will need trimming for those who might not have the exact length of zipper needed in their stash. The zipper opening on this pattern is 7 inches with 1/2 inch seam allowance at the waistline. Since we're doing a French seam, we'll start with wrong sides together. Mark the bottom of the zipper opening with your preferred washable marking tool. Begin stitching from hemline toward the top of the zipper opening with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. When you're about 3/4 inch away from the bottom of the zipper opening, stop with the needle still in the fabric layers and decrease the stitch length slightly. Continue stitching and curve the stitch line ending at the bottom of the zipper opening where we marked. This is what the stitch line should look like. Clip into the seam allowance, releasing it for the installation of the zipper, being careful not to clip through the stitch line. Trim half of the width of the seam allowance. In this case, it'll be 1/8 of an inch. Trim this curved area really well without cutting through the stitch line. The raw edges along this area have a tendency to poke out when the French seam is finished if they are not trimmed really close. Press the seam flat, then bring right sides together and push the seam out as much as possible. Press flat again. You want to really work out the seam on this curved area. Change the stitch length to the longest stitch length on your machine, also known as a basting stitch. Stitch the length of the zipper opening with that long stitch using 1/2 inch seam allowance. Stop with the needle in the fabric layers when you reach the bottom. Change the stitch length back to a standard length and continue stitching the remainder of the seam line. Now you'll find yourself stitching at a 1/4 inch seam allowance since we've already completed the first couple steps of the French seam. So there's a basting stitch along the zipper opening and a regular stitch length along the French seam. Press the seam flat and the zipper opening seam allowance open. The seam allowance of the French seam can be pressed towards one side, whichever side you prefer. The invisible zipper I'm using is much longer than the opening and does not need to be this long. It only needs to be 2 inches longer than the zipper opening. One helpful tip is to press the teeth of the zipper away from the tape before you get going. This will offer a little assistance with getting close to the zipper teeth as you're stitching. Measure the distance of the zipper opening plus 2 inches and mark on the zipper. Run a quick stitch line back and forth along the mark. Line up the right side of the zipper with the basted seam line on the wrong side of the zipper opening. Don't forget that there is a 1/2 inch seam allowance at the waistline. Pin or clip in place so you keep the zipper exactly where it needs to be. Switch to a narrow zipper foot. Any zipper foot that will allow you to easily stitch around the bulky zipper pull as you're basting will work. Baste stitch the zipper tape to the seam allowance. This step is securing the zipper in the exact position you want it to be in. Notice I'm only basting through the zipper tape and the seam allowance of the zipper opening. Repeat on the opposite side. Open the basted stitch line along the zipper opening with a seam ripper. Bring the zipper pull down and beyond the bottom of the opening. Now the bulky zipper pull is below the bottom of the opening and out of the way for the next steps. My binding is cut on the straight grain and not on the bias. It's also 1 inch longer than the zipper opening. So in this case, it's 8.5 inches long by 1.5 inches wide. Before we begin attaching the binding to the zipper, we will need to switch the machine foot to an invisible zipper foot. Mine looks like this. Some of you might end up using the same foot used for basting around the zipper pull in the previous step. It will depend on your machine and which feet you have. Line up the right side of the binding to the wrong side of the zipper opening. The binding will be longer than the zipper opening. The binding will be on the bottom layer. Adjust the stitch length back to a standard length. Begin stitching through all of the layers. The stitch line will need to be as close to the zipper teeth without stitching into them or over them. Since the zipper has already been basted in place, this step is about putting the permanent stitch line in for the zipper and also attaching the binding. As you get down to the bottom of the zipper opening, you'll notice the zipper pull and the end of the binding is below the opening. Stop the stitch line right at the bottom of the zipper opening. Repeat on the opposite side of the zipper. Both sides of the binding will be poking out from underneath the zipper. Both the binding and the zipper tape will be longer than the zipper opening. Pull the zipper pull back up to the top and verify that the zipper functions properly. Press the seam along the binding and then press the raw edge in to meet the edge of the zipper tape. Then press in one more time, covering the edge of the zipper tape. Make sure that the folded edge of the binding doesn't come so close to the zipper teeth and cause an obstruction while zipping and unzipping. Repeat on the opposite side. Change your machine foot back to a standard foot, then top stitch the binding down along the zipper tape about 1/16 of an inch from the folded edge. Bring the zipper pull out of the way while leaving the needle in the fabric and continue stitching. Repeat on the opposite side. The top edge of the binding will meet the top edge of the waistline seam allowance, which will be hidden in the waistband most likely. Trim the ends of the binding to match the ends of the zipper tape, making them flush with one another. At this point, you can trim as much as you like up until the zipper opening, but be sure to leave enough length to attach another piece of fabric, which will cover these raw edges. I recommend watching until the end for reference. There's more than one way to cover the ends of this tape, but here's what we do. Use a square piece of the same fabric used for the binding that measures 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. Press it in half. Line up the raw edges of the folded square with the raw ends of the zipper tape and center it. Stitch through the layers at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Press this piece away from the zipper and then press the sides in towards the center. Then fold it one more time, covering the raw edge of the zipper. Top stitch through all of the layers. This final step is optional and will depend on if you want either a short line of top stitching or a back tack visible on the right side of your garment. The zipper end is longer than the opening, and it's a nice final touch to secure it down to the seam while also hiding that transition point from the zipper opening into the French seam. Here's the final invisible zipper with bound edges and a French seam.